cardiac. If it's cardiac, you're going to increase heart rate, increase perfusion, leakage, even more than what you want to. Pulmonary embolisms, blockage or clot, or an air bubble, or any other foreign body. I don't know how you're going to get another foreign body down there, but whatever you might do. Specific signs and symptoms, it's going to be sudden onset. It's going to be a blockage, and signs and symptoms are going to start right after that blockage, pretty much. Sudden onset of difficulty breathing, syncope. You're going to have freaking shock skin, so cool, moist skin. Anxiety, because you're not going to be able to breathe really well, and jugular vein distension. Important history, pulmonary embolism is these are other signs and symptoms that's with it, is prolonged immobilization, a lower limb injury that could cause a freaking clot to pop up and then clog your freaking pulmonary artery, congestive heart failure, and surgery. That's why whenever you get out of surgery, they give you that little fucking nozzle thing to breathe into all the time. That's to help prevent pulmonary embolisms and keep your shit running nice. Next one is, and treatments for pulmonary embolism is O2 and go. All right, you're not going to have a whole lot of options with pulmonary embolisms, mostly because pulmonary embolisms will lead to pulmonary edema, and if you give any kind of albuterol or any kind of bronchodilator, it's not really going to help, because the problem is with blood not making it to the alveoli, not with air not making it down there necessarily.
And this is where the doctor would give like fibrolytics to break that up.
Fibrolytics help break it up because he suspects a cardiac emergency. Yeah. Pulmonary embolisms can also happen in the upper respiratory tract because you got a blockage. You just got to remove the foreign body. You're going to try to give them O2, but not positively pressure them unless you absolutely have to. Right? Spontaneous pneumothorax. This is one, no CPAP. And if you have to bag, very light bagging, all right? It's gonna be a tall white dude. Basically what happens is so you have primary and secondary exposures of these. Your primary is gonna be no previous freaking defects or anything like that, just he was doing something strenuous and his lung overstretched and it popped, right? That pop causes, whenever you inhale for air to go outside of the visceral pleura of the lung, causing the lung to increasingly over time start to collapse. Once that starts to collapse, after prolonged exposure and no treatment, then it can develop into a tension pneumothorax. All right, tension pneumothorax, bad news. And that's why with these specific signs and symptoms, you're gonna have sudden onsets, sudden acute shortness of breath, sharp chest pain, decreased breath sounds, it's got subcutaneous emphysema on here. I wrote that down for a reason. I don't really know why. It can happen for spontaneous pneumothorax.
Spontaneous pneumothorax. I don't know.
Just look it in the book. Acute sharp chest pain, and then the big thing is it can convert to a tension pneumothorax, and then the tension pneumothorax gives the late signs of spontaneous pneumothorax if you don't see any trauma. It's the big thing.
The service and gas exchange, for example? That's the reason why problem?
Maybe. But anyway, tracheal deviation, jugular vein distension, hypotension, and cyanosis.
Air, it's pressure, the air is pushing out.
Oh, it's pushing out, pushing fluid out. That makes sense. Okay. Treatment. O2. Get them perfusing up. Hopefully get them perfusing better. You've got one lung that's working, the other one's not really. Make sure that they're getting it in. Your secondary onsets are caused by trauma or prolonged exposure to bad habits like smoking. You have basically smoking caused spontaneous pneumothorax because my lungs are shitty and scar tissued up, caused the pop. That's the difference. Primary, no signs of trauma. Secondary, signs of possible trauma. Right? But they won't have an entrance wound to the chest wall. It's literally it popping inside of the chest. Hyperventilation syndrome. This one's the dumbest shit ever. Okay? It's gonna look just like respiratory distress. Just like it, someone's gonna be freaking out. What you do, attempt to calm them down, put them on high flow O2, breathe with them. Hey, sit here, breathe with me. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Don't bring up what went wrong, all that yada yada. Specific signs are gonna be cramps. Due to a buildup of calcium inside of your system, you're gonna cramp up. You're also going to have high levels of CO2.
Got it.
What was he saying?
What?
I had- you did-
Oh, there's subcutaneous emphysema
Yes.
inside the pneumothorax.
Yeah.
It comes from the ruptured alveoli to the interstitium and along the blood vessel of the lungs. So it's in the asylum from there,
Okay.
tissues and mechanisms.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that works. Numbness and tingling because they're not expelling the CO2 enough.